My name is Allison McLaughlin. I head up campaign operations at Box. Box is a content cloud collaborative tool. In the campaign operations sector, what I focus on is partnering with marketing and enabling marketing and everybody at Box to do their jobs better, a lot easier. And, whatever we can do to help support that. When I joined Box, one of the things that struck me is the sheer number of list uploads that we do. And we approximately 250 to 300 per quarter, which is significant. And each one has to go through a very, very manual validation process, including making sure fields are filled in with proper values, making sure that think programs are set up correctly. And it was a very, very time consuming manual process that took approximately 2.5 hours per list upload. And to me, that's a completely ineffective use of time. And that was stopping my team from even being able to take on more. Data integrity is really, in my opinion, one of the backbones of a marketing ops role. I mean, without decent data, you can't basically do your job. You can't segment. Leads that flow have Mickey Mouse as as to first and last name. The process that we used to follow for loading a list into the system was someone would submit a Jira ticket. They would use our list upload template, um, you know, fill it out, make sure that everything was filled out, and they would submit a Jira ticket that would then get assigned to the person working on these. And that person would manually go through, row after row, sometimes thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, and just, doing a spot check to see if there was blank values on mandatory fields and things like that. For me, when I was originally looking at Workato, and what we were going to do first, which was the list upload project, I did a lot of research and I looked at the tool and wanted to better understand how it worked, and make sure that it wasn't going to cause bigger problems than what it was. I think we probably all had that, occasionally where you're all, oh, this is going to save the world. It really doesn't. It kind of blows it up. And so, really, for me, when I started getting into the tool and looking at the functionality and the capabilities, I was completely blown away. And it takes a lot for me to get very excited. I feel a little jaded after being in the industry for so long, but there was finally this great tool that is easy to use. The IT team uses both Workato and SnapLogic. And while, SnapLogic is great for what it's great for, Workato is so much more user-friendly. I mean, as I'm not an engineer, but I could go in and build a recipe and it makes sense and it's easy to do. And it's very easy to connect everything together in a way that you don't have to have an engineering degree to take it apart and rebuild it and do some custom coding. So what we did is we identified the use cases. We took our existing list upload template and basically built a Workato recipe that enabled us to use Slack, which we all use extensively, and load a list and have that list validated against our mandatory fields. What this did is actually cut down the list upload time by at least 50%. And so you can imagine we were able to get a lot more done and, get a lot more lists uploaded faster. And it not only saved my team time, but it also allowed us to help marketing by shortening our SLA by a full day. And that's pretty huge, as you know, in order to get leads from marketing into Salesforce for sales to follow up on. So what we ended up doing is we were able to get rid of a vendor that we were using to do all of these list uploads. And in doing that, of course, saved a ton of money. And we were able to shift that budget into bringing in another headcount onto my team who is able to work on other projects, not just this manually, ridiculous process of loading lists into the system. Even just by automating this one process that my team manages, we were really able to open up the ability to have, a person help with additional production work and really enable other members of my team to grow in their career by focusing on building more Workato recipes, on identifying other areas for automation, looking at other processes that we can not only automate or that we can just make better. So where I really see this going for at least from my perspective for our team, is using this to automate all of these manual processes from, even campaign creation, naming conventions, things that are just so manual. I mean, I very strongly feel that Workato is such an important solution for everybody's MarTech stack in order to get everything working together effectively. We live in this day and age where we have basically a tool or a solution to do anything, but there's no glue that holds everything together. There's not a way to get the systems to talk easily together in a good, secure way. And so with Workato, I view it as the conduit to everything. It's like, great, I have this awesome MarTech stack, but how am I going to get everything to talk to each other? And that's really where Workato is key for me in my role, to be able to automate these just annoyingly manual processes and enable us to be able to take on so much more.